everybody. Welcome to a Facebook Live with Jeannie. I am Jeannie Nielsen, the card lady, and I'm very excited to be with you here today. Realized I had my phone not looking at me, but looking out, and you got to see my Clorox, but you got to see a relatively clean room, so I'm so excited. I think I figured out the phone, believe it or not. I think the pieces are back, and it was, I believe, Monica, when I was in Las Vegas, that I could not figure out. I kept saying my screen lock rotation is not on. I didn't lock it, but I think with an update, it locked itself. So now here we are, nice and wide. We're going to go down and you're going to see so much of what I'm making. And it's the craft along. It's the gingerbread craft along, and I'm so excited about that. I've got my little scissor charm. Isn't that so cute? He's so adorable. I should have my gingerbread, well, I should have my hat on or something to make it look like Christmas, but you're just going to have to go with it. I got my icicle lights up tonight. My son and I went out and we cleaned the gutters and got the icicle lights. Now I have a split level house, so my house isn't really a double decker. It isn't really two floors, but it's high enough that when I go up, if I look down, no, if I look up while I am going up, I get woozy. I was walking the dogs afterwards and somebody said, yeah, I saw somebody working on your house. I said, that was me. It really was. It was me. I am scared to death of heights, and the best way to get around that is to face your fears. So that's what we did today. So I have 5 lovely cards. If you signed up for the craft along, you're going to get the tutorial tonight. We're going to be making these cards next weekend. You're going to make 2 each of 5 different cards. And I even have some treats for you. I'm just so excited. But I think you kind of saw a sneak peek if you saw my advertisement reminding you that I was going live at 5. I don't know why I have a clock, a Christmas clock that is not singing. It's going to sing when I don't want it to. But anyway, it's okay. I think I've got everything I need here. Let's start with the first card. So adorable. So this paper used the Tags and More DSP. It's a 6x6 pack, which means that if you're getting half a pack of the 6x6, there is not a lot left after you make 10 cards. You'll have a few pieces, but not a lot. I'm going to flip up to flip down, and let's get crafting. I'm going to try and keep up with some notifications if I can, but I do promise you, if for some reason I am not keeping up with it, please know that I will respond to every single comment later. I promise that I'm good for that. We did these cards using the Gingerbread Man stamp set, and it has matching dies. The dies actually cut out a double, and we did not do that with any of these cards, but a double Gingerbread Man. So there's actually a little, this one you can't see because I put it back through. I didn't quite cut it through, and then I flipped it over, and I had to be fancy. That's all I can say. Your best bet is when you're cutting your Gingerbread Man, just put something in his hand. Look, it's kind of cut off. Cover it up, but we're going to be able to do that. We have accessories. There's a scarf. There's a bow. There's a hat. There's all kinds of candy things. Oh, here's the die right here. So this is the die. It's a double die, so you could make a nice folded note, a nice folded Gingerbread Man, and tuck your message inside. I'm sure there are other things you could do with it. I actually want to try, and I hope to make this card this week. I'm not going to look at the card where I saw it and see if I can make it myself. Somebody made it into a scarecrow, and how adorable would that be for Thanksgiving? We've got the lollipop and the little whirly-gig center. We have a, you'll see it in one of my cards, the little word bubble. We have, like I said, the scarf. There's a candy cane, and it cuts out both the bottom and the top. There is a mug. So there's all kinds of fun things. What else do we have in here? Another candy center, and this is a wrapped candy. So really, really cool stuff. Oh, and then I forgot about this. And this one it doesn't really show up unless you stamp it first. These are gumdrops. And we'll be doing that on one of these cards. And now that I think about it, I probably should have cut it ahead of time, stamped it and cut it ahead of time. But you'll see that's an easy thing for me to add on later. Okay, so we are going to start with this card. It is on a crumb cake base. Isn't that so cute inside? So cute. We have our front. He's wearing his cute little hat. He's all dressed for winter. And by the way, we had snow yesterday. While I was having my team meeting, there were snowflakes coming down, and it was super exciting. Besides the half pack of this DSP that you get, the tags and more DSP, 2 of the sheets, there are actually 4 sheets in a full pack. There are 2 different sheets of ephemera, punch out labels and little accessories that you can add, and we'll be doing that. Oh my, you know what? I just realized I didn't bring my ephemera, but when we get to that card, I'll just run and get it because I know exactly where I put it. Okay, so let's get crafting. Are you excited? We are going to start with our crumb cake base, like I said. This is going to be my inside. This is going to be cut to 4 by 5 1/4. So let me bring in my paper trimmer. Let me go a little bit higher if I can. I'm not going to knock myself. Let's see. Does that work? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so we're going to go 4 by 5 1/4 with this DSP. By this way, the way this craft along, we are doing it once a month. I collaborate with Judy Tuttle and Monica Ghiberti. Judy's out of Texas, Monica's out of Virginia. Here I am, close to Boston, Massachusetts. And we come up with our 5 projects. I don't know what next month is going to bring, probably like a bags and tags type of thing, but we'll figure it out. But you have to sign up ahead of time. And I actually do have enough DSP to do 2 more kits. Altogether, it's going to cost you $50 because you are making 10 cards. You are getting your deer dots. You are getting your chevron ribbon, which we use on all the cards. You're getting that half pack of DSP. You're getting the full color tutorial. This is going on the inside, by the way. I might as well put it in before I lose it. And then I'm going to show you how to cut the front. So this was the front, and this is one of our pages. Okay. Really cute patterns in this DSP. Okay, well, I don't have a pin here, so let me grab another one of my glues. Except for the ephemera, I'm pretty prepared today, and I'm very excited about it. I actually thought my card class was today, so I was all prepared for it already yesterday. So what a nice surprise for everybody when I didn't have to do it today. Okay, we are going to stamp on the basic white piece, and this I believe is 3 1/2 by 4 1/4. We are going to stamp Seasons Eatings. You know what? Hold that thought. We're going to do that in a second. Let me cut the DSP for the front because let's finish the front of the card first so I can put away my paper trimmer. What we're going to do, and when I wrote the tutorial, I thought I had it all figured out to explain it very carefully, and it really can be explained so much more carefully than I did. So what you're going to do, you are going to have this wreath of flowers on your left side. And yes, I cut it for you if you are taking the class from me, because I feel like the more that I can do for you, the more you're going to enjoy this. What we're going to do, I just put the right edge on my 1-inch line. So you see, we have 1-inch lines to the left of the track and to the right. When I'm doing a small piece like this, I like to put it just there and use that measurement on the right. I'm cutting off 1 inch. Set that aside, you don't need it yet. We'll probably use it for something else, I can't remember. Then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to cut off another inch, or I could go to this side. Whatever you want to do, I could go to this side. You're going to take 1 inch off of the left side as well. That's what you're left with. You're not done yet though. And this last measurement is super easy. You're going to just take 3/4 of an inch off the bottom. So just like this, we're taking our 3/4 inch off the bottom. Save this because we might use this for something else. I think I have everything cut, so we probably won't use it on these cards, but you'll see that you can use it to decorate the insides of your cards. Okay, now what I'm going to do is attach this to the front, just like this. It's going to attach right to the front of the card. And isn't that a pretty pattern on the back too? You've got your mistletoe, and it's really, really, really pretty mistletoe. Going like this. Now I have already die cut my gingerbread man. And like I said, it would be best if you could put something in his hand so he was hiding. I don't have anything to put in my hands, so it's going to be very obvious. I'll just have to trim around my hand. Looks like a mitten. And I'll have to even it out a little bit. This is what I did already, just to make it easy. I have here my Stamparatus all set up for all of the cards. So super easy. I'm going to make sure that my Stampin' Up! Grid is in the top left corner of my Stamparatus. If you don't have a Stamparatus, you can probably still get the Misty. I'm sorry you missed out on the Stamparatus. It's the best invention going, and I use it for a lot of my classes. I'm going to put my gingerbread man right in this die cut. So this is what happens. You end up cutting off half the hand if you do it straight. There's really no way around it, because if you round the one side, you're taking it off the other gingerbread man. So we'll just have to deal with it. I am going to stamp him. I actually stamped him in Memento. So I have my Memento ink here, my Tuxedo Black Memento ink, and I am going to ink up my gingerbread man. And I do like to say, if I am stamping, if I'm inking up my Stamparatus, if you ever need help with it, where did I put my, oh brother, the ink pads. I was going to show you. If you put an ink pad under here, this is a tuxedo one, so it might not be, it's almost the perfect height. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so what I'm going to do is close this, and I'm going to trust that I did a pretty decent job of lining this up. So I like to stand up and give it a good press if I can. I'm sitting down. And the funny thing is, I have to tell you guys, the only time I sit down and craft is when I'm doing my Facebook Lives. Other than that, you are never going to catch me sitting down. I stand up for everything. There we go. Our outside is done, and I'll kind of trim off that and try to make it look pretty. What I should have done, actually, I could have also, you know what, let's do it again. I'm going to do it the other way, and then I'll put the lollipop stick kind of covering up his arm. So you're going to see that it's interchangeable. I can do it where he is an exact mirror image of himself, whether you get the front side of the die cut or the back. So here we go. Let's close this up and do it again. And I'll try to do the lollipop stick over my arm so that you can't see. And hopefully it's still pretty lined up. Now that's not terrible. Okay, let me put this away. You know what I'm going to do? Let me take my chamois before I forget. The next time I'm doing it, I'm going to be inking it up with some early espresso. So let me clean it before I forget. But I'm going to put this away off to the side for a second. And like I said, for you guys and for this, I did a lot of my die cutting early. So I'm going to have my guy here. I have my hat already cut. You can pop up the hat if you want to. I'm going to just use the other glue. I gotta put that out of the way. That's the one that doesn't work. You'd think I'd remember the first time. We're going to put this on this guy, and that's going to tell me and show me where I'm going to stamp his face. Now, if you remember, I have all kinds of faces I can do. This one we're going to use when we do our Oh Snap card, where he has the leg broken off. You've got the smile, you've got a fun, and this is the one I used. I think that's the one I have on the block. We'll see. There's a winking one, and then these are good for eyes, or for, yeah, those are eyes also. So whatever you want to do. You can use whatever you want, but I did my fun, it looks like they have eyelashes at the end of their, you know, it's just a super, super happy, friendly face. You're going to find that you are going to want to stamp your gingerbread fairly high. I did one of mine a little bit lower, the face lower than I thought, and it really looked like an odd gingerbread man. So don't do that. Before I attach this to the card, let me show you what I'm going to do. And I still already have my pinwheel die cut here for my lollipop piece. So we're going to see that in a second. I want to tie a scarf around my gingerbread guy. So rather than doing a die cut, we're going to use our ribbon. We've got our green chevron ribbon. I said it's a 1/4 inch. It might even, oh, it's 1/8 of an inch. It's not even a 1/4 inch. It's really pretty thin. So let's just tie him up. We'll give him a nice knot. I'm not going to do a bow on this one. I'm just going to do a knot. There we go. And you know, just like a scarf, it's going to be wind blown, and part will be up and part will be down. Okay, so there we go. So that's our little guy. I'm going to pop him up with some dimensionals on my card front, just like that. Got some glue there because I over glued my hat. So just, you don't need a lot. Okay, I'm going to put him in an angle so he fits just like that. Oh, you know what? I want to put him this way so that you can see the green. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put him this way, but let me get my dimensionals out and we're going to pop him up a little bit. Dimensionals always give your cards some extra interest without a lot of extra work. And we'll see if I'm going to be able. Now, I have somebody, I took the scrapbooking class, and when she, the workshop this summer, when she put her dimensionals on, the entire surface was covered. And yes, they are cheap. They're not expensive to have dimensionals, but we go through them so fast already. Don't you agree? Okay, we're gonna go like this. I might kind of round out my arm a little bit, just like that, and maybe a little bit this way too. And you see I could do that afterwards. And now that's not so obvious that it's different than that, right? But we are going to put our lollipop together. Let me put a little bit of glue on here. I'm just going to put a couple of dots on the different pinwheels. So thank you for joining me. If you are joining me, this is the craft along for the gingerbread class. And if you didn't order a kit and you wish you had after you see these cards, private message me and I'll see what I can do. So we're going to do it like that, I think. If I do it like that, oh, if I do it like that, can you see? If I do it like that, it's so not obvious. Okay, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to pop up my lollipop. My fun peppermint lollipop, and maybe I'll just put a little bit of, I'm just putting a little glue on my, just like that. There we go. There's only one thing that we have to do yet. We have to give him some buttons. Now, yes, I could stamp them. These are the dear dots. Dear as in Dear Nancy. Dear dots. I don't know what that means, but they're fun. They are fun dots. I always use my take your pick tool, and like I always say, I love the putty end. I'm going to give my gingerbread some buttons. And if there was some blue, I could use my pool party. There's garden green. I already have a garden green hat. These are petal pink, and you're going to see them on some of our cards. I'm just going to give him some Poppy Parade buttons, just like that. And Poppy Parade would probably match better than the real red pinwheel, but it is what it is. Okay, so let's stamp inside our card yet, because that's all we have left to do. I'm going to take my stamp, Seasons Eatings, which I have off here to the side. I'm stamping it. I stamped it in Memento. You know what I might do? I'm going to stamp it in Real Red. And that means that I'd better go get my Real Red ink that I left right next to where I was taking pictures. And while I'm at it, I'll grab my ephemera pack. I've been using this pack of DSP for my team meeting as well. So I've gone through 2 packs already, maybe even 3 in here. And this is the ephemera I was talking about. And so much fun. So we're going to get to that eventually. Let me stamp my gumdrops in the corner and Seasons Eatings. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? So I did it, like I said, on the directions it says Memento. I am going to do my gumdrops in Real Red, like I said, and it comes in a stamp like this, so they are layered on top of each other. And that makes it easy for die cutting as well, by the way, because that's how the die is set up as well. Are you liking seeing the whole picture? Now that I figured out that it was me and my screen lock rotation that didn't let me do a decent job for 3 or 4 Facebook Lives. I was so embarrassed. Okay, Seasons Eatings. That's right here. We're going to do that in Garden Green because it'll match my hat and other parts of the DSP. So, Seasons Eatings. You see when I'm doing this, I'm not smushing this, I'm just tapping it. Oh, and by the way, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. This is my gratitude bracelet. And this is the same as one that was shown on a Hallmark movie a couple of years ago. It was actually around Easter, called the Gratitude Bracelet. And this one, I bought this one, and my friend Laura also wears it. These beads, you say what you're thankful for every day. Like this, I'm thankful that my Facebook Live is working. I'm thankful that I was prepared for my Facebook Live today. I'm thankful that the weather was so beautiful that I got my gutters clean and my icicle lights. And I'm thankful, and I didn't tell you guys, I have a new grandson. So I'm thankful for my new grandson and the health that my daughter had. She had quite a scare afterwards, but everybody is good. So my grandson is now, oh, he's probably 8, maybe 9 days old. So his name is Noah. Okay, let me put this to the side. So I just want you to know, and I also have a notebook next to my bed where I write what I'm thankful for. Because you know what? There's so much, and I take a lot of it for granted. It's so much nicer when I realize what I'm grateful for. So you guys should do it. Somebody I also started too late, my friend Michelle, was doing 30 cards in November, gratitude cards. Oh, that's not straight. There we go. There we go. That's our inside of our card. That's our outside. Super easy, wasn't it? Oh, I forgot. We did one more thing to this. Let me grab this. What I'm going to do, oh, I've got a little scrap here. Maybe I can do it with this. I've got really fat fingers, so it might be a little hard, but I'm going to try with this scrap. I am going to form a knot. Yep, not going to work. My fingers are just a little bit too big for that. We'll just use another little piece for the pom-pom of our hat. So let me move this down, my knot down, just like that. And grab a glue dot, and we've got our pom-pom. So I hope you guys are ready for Thanksgiving. Took my turkey out of the freezer today. Probably should have taken it out last night. But it spent all day in cold water. It's now back in the refrigerator because I'm afraid I'll forget it, and I don't want to do that. Can't wait for Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. I'm just sad. My parents now live in Virginia, so What do you think? Isn't that cute? I could put a glue dot under here, but I'm just going to let it go. I'm just going to let this. This isn't my sharpest snips. These are not my ribbon scissors, but there we go. Isn't it cute? So there you go. Card number 1. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I did do one other thing with those deer dots, and maybe I'll do a green one this time. Or maybe I'll do a light blue. It doesn't matter. You guys can use whatever you want. Look at that. We're going to put that in the middle of our lollipop. So, ta-da. Card number 1. Okay, let's get moving. We got 4 more cards to do. Okay, I'm going to do card number 2. Oh, let me show you another one. And yes, this was my card, and I'll show you what's wrong with it. I love this card. I absolutely adore this card until I have to prepare it. I will probably, I'm offering, if anybody wants this gingerbread craft along kit yet, you'll still get the tutorial, and you can come either Saturday, Sunday, or Monday and stamp with me. I do have to tell you, I did all the die cutting for this, and there are 12 die cuts just on this card. Okay, so let's do this card. I've got a 4 1/4 by 11 inch piece of real red. Could have been Poppy Parade. I used real red again. Then I put another 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece through my embossing folder. This is the dots embossing folder, the large 3D, the one that is like 6 by 9. It's a great folder. Isn't it so fun? It just looks to me like the candy, the whirligigs. So, okay, so I'm going to, you know, when I first did this, I didn't like to talk on a Facebook Live, and now you can't get me to stop. Isn't that funny? Okay, I'm going to glue that right to the front. And then I have, the next thing I'm going to do, I am going to glue these 2 pieces. Now this is from the DSP. Let me show you what it's from. I've got one of these pieces right here. Okay, this is one of the pieces of the DSP. And yes, I can send you the tutorial, but you won't get me doing all your die cutting for you. Okay, this is one of your pieces, and these are all, I don't even know how big they are. 2.5 by, they are 2. Of course they're 2, because it's 2, 4, 6. It's 6 by 6 paper. 2 by 3. I can see that right here because there's 2. So 2 by 3. We are using this piece, and then this green gingham is actually the back of this piece. That's the piece right there. So you could choose any one that you think you won't use for another. Oh my goodness. I'll work on that later. Okay. My papers are stuck together. Anyone, I ended up cutting it sideways and using a scrap of my paper here. So 2 by 3. So you've got 2 pieces. I'm going to glue this down. And you see this, anyway, the holly was one of my pieces. So I'm going to do it like that, just like that, kind of, what do they call it? I went someplace and they called it cattywampus. Okay, that's cattywampus. I'm going to put a second one here, down towards the bottom a little bit, and also kitty corner, cattywampus, whatever you want to call it. I actually am gluing this down again, and use plenty of glue because you want it to stick to those dots. There's lots of nooks and crannies with this, but there we go. I have my largest, widest, stylish shaped banner, and we're going to stamp that with garden green, sugar and spice, and everything nice. I will do that. Why don't I do that right now, since I have that right here? So I've got my garden green, and remember, you're not smushing it into the pad. You are just tapping. Tap as many times as you want. I suggest when you're tapping that you're doing all parts of the ink pad. Sometimes when people tend to stamp, they put the stamp in the same place in the center of the ink pad, and there tends to be more ink around the edges. So just keep that in mind. Okay, I better stand up for this. Let's do this. It looks a little spotty with my ink, but I think by the time I put it down, it's going to be fine. So It's nice that it's a photopolymer stamp set. And I guess that's all we're going to have soon. Let me clean this off before I make a mess. And in fact, let me do that with my other stamps here. Trying to be on top of things. I'm so excited that my room is 75% clean. I had my team meeting here yesterday, and boy, did it look good. Have to say, helps to clean up. Okay, so the rest of this are all the 11 die cuts. Look at all these die cuts. So what we are going to do, and this is how it comes to you in that little bag, we are going to put the white on the solid red candy cane. And if I was smart, I probably would have put some adhesive sheet behind there, but I didn't. I'm sorry about that. So you're gonna have to glue just like me. Okay, I'm gonna put that on here. You know what would be really good if I was going to be not making a mess is my silicone mat for gluing, so that when I'm done, all I have to do is, instead of cleaning up my glass mat, I'm all thumbs today. Speaking of thumbs, I have my finger back. I have a little bit of a scar there, but it's getting better every single day. I don't know if you remember that when I did one of my Facebook Lives, I was remarking how I saved Minnie from choking. Stuck my finger down her throat, and in the process, she bit me when she actually came back to. She was almost unconscious. But she's good now, and she loves her treats. Okay, I have my lollipop here, and I actually, for this, layered 2 pinwheels. And so you are going to get a big and a little pinwheel, a white and a red pinwheel, I should say. And you're just going to kind of stagger them, and we're going to just put them right there. I think I'm just going to put the glue, for now, in the center of the red. I'm going to put the red on top of the white. Just like that. What do you think? And then I could put some glue on the whole thing. If I don't make a mess, I'm trying not to make a mess. I'm going to glue this onto my lollipop, just like that. And we are going to put a little dot on there in a minute. So let me put my lollipop off. So I've made my white with red candy cane. Now I'm going to make my red with white candy cane. So let's do that next. Okay. I don't like to overdo it with my glue. Okay, gluing that on. So it's already die cut. The hardest part is gluing this, and you can catch up with me later and do that. But I have a white candy here. This is the wrapped candy, and I took one that I didn't do a great job die cutting. The die moved on me, but I can do that. You guys don't have to have that. I will take the one that is messed up. I'm going to put the big whirligig, just the big whirligig. And remember, on the other one, I just did the center. This one, I'm going to put it on the blades of the whirligig, and we're going to just put that right there. Okay, so we got that. And then I did one more wrapped candy for the inside. This is Garden Green, of course. And this one I actually used, is it this one? Yes, it is. Is it this one, or is it, it might be actually that whirligig, the little whirligig that I use. This is the outside, the negative of it. And I'm going to use that part. I'm just adding a little bit of glue. Sorry, I'm off camera right here, but you know what I'm doing. All I'm doing is gluing, and we're going to put that right there. Okay, so is that everything? No, I didn't put in, and I think I forgot to, I think I put it in everybody's card when I prepped, but I didn't put it in mine. We need some scrap paper. And because I'm not going to die cut, I will fussy cut this. So we're going to do this. Oh, sorry. We are going to stamp our gumdrops. So we need our gumdrops. Again, this is our gumdrop stamp. We are going to stamp it both in real red and in garden green. And like I said to you, it's super easy to die cut it, but I'm not going to do that on camera. So actually, oh, that is not how you do a good job. And I only inked it once, so let me move it around. Like I said, I like to move it around, and then I tend to find a spot that is a little bit juicier. Hold it there for a second. 1001, 1002, 1003. Much better. Much better. Okay, and let's do that once more. I'm going to do that with my garden green yet. And then we're just going to put this card together because that's the easy part. Okay, there's our garden green. Ta-da! Now all we have to do is put this card together, and that's the super easy part. Okay, I will, like I said, I'm going to save that to cut out later, and just trust me that this is what I'm going to do. Okay, so let me put this together. First thing I'm going to do is my candy cane. I'm going to put my candy cane right there, right over top, just like this. I'm going to put it like right there. Ta-da. Then we are going to do our lollipop. And you know what? I could actually pop this up, but I didn't on my card, so I'm not going to do it. But you definitely could pop up your lollipop. I'm going to put that right there. Now I'm going to, and this I will pop up, I'm going to do my wrapped candy, and that's going to go down at the bottom. Take your dimensional, and we'll put our wrapped candy at the bottom. Just like that. And we are going to do our candy cane, our red with white, or is it white with red? I don't know. I'm going to put that over here. Actually, I'm going to wait to do that because you know what I'm going to do next? I'm going to put here my sugar and spice and everything nice banner. And let me show you what I'm going to do with that. I have here my ribbon, and I am going to take my ribbon and I am going to just loop. Okay, I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to use some tear and tape. I always keep tear and tape near my stamps because my brown or orange is how I know that I have a bundle. I'm going to have to change all that, aren't I? And my blue means that it's a punch bundle. Okay, so let's put this down here. We're going to put this like this. You're just going to layer that just like that. And I can use my dimensionals to hold it in place later. But let's do this again. One more. I'm going to put this kind of up like that. So let me get one more piece of washi tape. I'm using washi tape because washi tape is acid free. I like to use acid free stuff, but I am known to use my Scotch tape as well. But if you have photos, you want to use acid free products for your stamping and scrapbooking, just so it doesn't hurt the photos. So, okay, so now what I'm going to do is pop this up. So I've got some dimensionals here. I think these were left over from a kit that I did. In case you're wondering what that cute, and they're a little bit thicker than my normal dimensional. Putting this on here like that. And I'm going to put one more down here like that. So we are going to add this right to our, it's kind of funny. I didn't want it to go that way, but it has to because it's too late now. I love how I did the ribbon here and it kind of went off to the side. Well, we're not doing that this time because I did it backwards because I turned over my thing. Let's do that like that. And then the other thing I'm going to do is take some dimensionals and I'll just pop up my, let's do it like this. I'm going to pop it up like that. You can do, you know what? I'm going to move my, I am going to move my candy, and you may find that there is a better place for it once you put your label on. So maybe put your label on first. I'm going to go like this. Let's do it like that. Okay, a couple of dimensionals here. Oh, you know what? This is going to work better with some mini dimensionals, I believe. do some mini dimensionals because it's a little bit thinner. Yeah, we're finishing up the second card, but let me tell you, this is probably the most involved because of all the die cuts. I can't wait to show you some of the fancy fold cards. They're going to be so much fun. Let me grab this. Okay. The fancy fold card. You guys are going to love. Let's do it like that. And then let's put this one here like that. And I do have to say, I'm going to have to take my adhesive eraser to that. It did get a little messy, but that's okay. I could put my gumdrops here. It almost doesn't even need the gumdrops. So if you don't want to do the gumdrops, don't worry about the gumdrops because we are going to use our deer dots, our embellishment, and we're going to add a little bit of fun to the front. Why am I doing petal pink? I'm not really sure. I'm sure I had a reason when I did it. So if you want to do garden green to go with that, you can certainly do it. It's your card. Enjoy. I'm going to put one down there. I'm going to put another big one up here. And let's put a little one up there. And I did a fairly good job without even doing my gumdrops that I stamped and didn't die cut or fussy cut. Let me show you what the inside looks like. This is a piece of basic white, which I don't have next to me. Boy, oh boy. Let me show you what I do with my basic white inserts. I go to Staples and get it cut to 4 by 5 1/4, and I have it cut down. So I still have half a box, and all I have to do is pull that right out of there. And I'm going to put that on the inside, and I think, I don't know what happened to my, oh my goodness. Well, I guess I pulled the wrong thing, but your card, whether it's 4 1/4 by 11 or 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and I'm pretty sure yours are cut 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, just saying. You can make this work, doesn't matter. What I did for the inside, I have had a strip of DSP, the mistletoe DSP, and I know I cut that, but I'm not sure where it ended up. That one is just a 1/2 inch by 5 1/4 inches. So you can do that later. Let me just add in my little flower wrapped candy, not a flower. I'm always making flowers. That's why I said that. That was a slip. Put that down here in the corner. Do we want to add any dots to the centers of our candies? I think we could. Let's add, again, a light blue to the center of that one. And let's add a bigger light blue to the center of that one. Just like that. You got a whole package to work with, and you're going to love these dots. Okay, there you go. Card number 2. A little bit different. The directions are for this one, where you're going to die cut these and pop them up on your front. So whatever you choose, however your ribbon turns out, just go with it. It's your card, and you're going to love it. And so is your recipient. Okay, let me put the washi tape out of the way. I don't think I need that for a little while. This is card number 3. I love this card. Okay, this is a fancy fold card. I believe this is probably, this is card number 3. That's actually card number 4. Let's go with card number 3 if we're going according to the directions of the PDF. Look at this adorable card. This card is another fancy fold card. You're going to love this. So let's make this card. This was Judy's card. What I'm going to do, I have a 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 inch piece of cardstock that I scored at 4 1/4, right? Our standard. And then you're going to cut off 1 1/4 inches. And you are going to score that, I believe, at 3 1/2 inches. Is it 3 1/2 or 3 1/4? It's 3 1/4. 3 1/4 inches. And then save that. We're going to decorate that in a minute. Let's do this. Okay, I'm going to have I don't need 2 of those. I have a real red piece of cardstock. This is 3.5 by 4 3/4. Yep. And then that means that my DSP, again, this is the same one that has the 6 panels on the back. We've got our green gingham. We are going to do this 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. So let's add that to our real red piece. Just like that. We have to stamp our gingerbread. So let's bring out our Stamparatus again. Let me put this out of the way for a second, and then we'll get to everything else. I had another piece of, so when I cut off 1 1/4 inches, that left me, do that all the time, I don't know why, 3 inches, which means that this is 2 3/4 by, no, it's 2 7/8 by 5 3/8. That's what this one is. 2 7/8 by 5 3/8. This is embossed with the plaid folder. So just like we had the dots, the 6 by 9 inch 3D folder, we have the large plaid as well. And that goes really well with this pattern as well. We are going to add that to our front in just a second. Let's stamp our gingerbread man first. So we're going to bring out our Stamparatus again, already set, already ready to go. And I have to tell you, I have 2 Stamparatuses that I can get going. So you guys are going to have plenty of time to stamp next week. Okay, I am going to put my, I'm doing it backwards again. I'm going to put my, here, my cut off arm where the hinge is, if I was cutting 2 of them at the same time, which of course you want to do when you're cutting, is cut 2 at the same time. I'm going to put that on the left. So he's going to be holding his mug in his left arm, and it's not going to bother him at all that he only has half an arm. I need my pecan pie ink pad. Which we used in my gratitude card class this afternoon when I had my lovely ladies come over for my gratitude card class. Okay, pecan pie. Ink up your gingerbread man. So just like I did with the memento, I'm going to add this to my gingerbread man. But you're going to notice he's going to have a different face. If I want this to line up, make sure your pad is in the corner, squared up, your paper is in the corner, squared up, and then it'll be a perfect fit. Okay, we're going to stamp our guy. Stamp, stamp. He's good and inked up. Ta-da! If I didn't like the way he was inked, if I wanted a little bit more there, I could add a little bit more ink, and I'll close this up again, and it should line up perfectly again. So there you go. Okay, now I'm going to take him out of the Stamparatus. I think the last one is going to be done with early espresso, but I'll clean it just in case. I'm going to clean it with my chamois. How many chamois do you guys have? Do you have one close to everything and packed away for your going away stamping? And I've got chamois everywhere, but I can never find them. Isn't that funny? Okay, Stamparatus goes back out of the way, and this is what we're going to do next. With our pecan pie, I am going to stamp the winky face. So this is our winky smiley face. And I'm going to tell you, like I said, what you probably want to do is stamp fairly high up. If you stamp low, it just looks odd. I can tell you, I don't know which one I did. Like this one. Let me show you. This one is a little bit, he looks more like a ghost or a zombie than a, I'm going to stamp the next one higher up when I do it. Okay? Okay. Okay, so, oh, I forgot. He also has a little curly Q on his forehead. He's got a little lock of gingerbread hair. And we're going to stamp that here. Just like that. Ta-da! If you wanted to emboss this with white, be my guest. I certainly would welcome that. We were talking about doing that for our cards, and we never did. None of us did any embossing, but that would look super on espresso, on your pecan pie. I think pecan pie is probably the closest to a real colored gingerbread man but you could do whatever you want. Okay, let's put him on our card front now. So we have here, let me get everything here so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to attach my inside first. First, I'm going to put my plaid embossed layer on here. So like I said, 2 7/8 by 5 3/8, and it's on a 3 by 5 1/4 inch piece. That's what you have left over when you cut off your 1 1/4 inches. So I don't know where everybody is coming from. I know when Anne was coming down for team meeting yesterday from Gloucester, she said she was driving through snow. Now, flurries or whatever you want to call it, but she was driving through snow. So have you guys seen snow yet this year? Where are you, and have you seen snow? Next thing I'm going to do, I am going to attach here, I'm going to attach this about 1 1/4 inches, and I'm going to eyeball it. Of course, I could use my square here. I'm going to attach this to my inside of my card base. So let me just add some adhesive. If you want to put it tear and tape on there, you certainly can. It's going to stay because you're going to have your it's about, that might be more like 1 1/2 inches, but we're going to go with it. Let's see how close I am. Oh no, how about that? That's 1 1/4 inches, guys. That's what you call skill, aka luck. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to attach my basic white inside over top of that. So let's do that next. No, you know what I'm going to do next? You could do anything you want, but I'm going to actually, before I put it inside, let me do my stamping. So I have here a strip of 1/2 inch by 4 inches, and I think it's supposed to actually be 3/4 of an inch, but I had a leftover piece and I wanted to use it. So the directions may say 3/4 of an inch by 4 inches. So whatever, it's going to work. We're going to put that close to the bottom, just like that. Then we are going to do our Baking Spirits Bright, and that's our long sentiment. I love this block. This is my favorite block. My favorite block. My other favorite block is the Ice Cube block, and I don't think they carry either of these anymore. Isn't that so sad? But over the years, I've acquired probably 6 of these, and the Ice Cubes, I probably have 8 of them. I still never have enough, just saying, but okay, once again, tap, tap, tap. Do it all over your ink pad because parts of it are going to be more inked than others. And I'm going to stand up for this, and just above my strip of DSP, I'm going to say Baking Spirits Bright. So, ta-da. There we go. I don't think I used that stamp again, but if I did, it's nice and clean, ready for the next time. Let me close this ink pad. We're going to attach this to the inside. So now we've got our 5 1/2 inch by 1 1/4 inch, and this is left over. This is cut off from the front. We've got that attached 1 1/4 inches up. So let me put this inside. I'm going to attach it inside, and then we're going to decorate our flap next. Okay, so this goes like that. Ta-da. Now the next thing I'm going to do is decorate my flap. So I have here, and I believe it's 7/8 of an inch by 3 1/4 inches, because remember this is 3 1/2 inches. I believe it's 7/8 by 3 1/4. We are going to attach that to our front flap. So just like this, just center it on the flap. Just like that. And the next thing we're going to do is go to our ephemera pack. Let me see what I've got here. And in some of the ephemera, let me just pull it all out, we have some banners. This is one of the banners. You could certainly use that. But it doesn't matter what we're going to do. What we're going to do, there's also another crumb cake one. I think there are some straight banners as well. There's all kinds of fun. I've got some DSP here. It's probably what I needed for the inside of my card, but anyway, you can see there's bows, there's candy canes. We're going to use all of this in a minute, or some of all of it, not all of it. What I'm going to do is snip this in half. And why am I snipping this in half? Because you're only going to see one half at a time. So let's see. I'm going to put this part of the banner over here. Yeah, it probably would have been better to be 1 inch. I think the other banner is a little bit thinner, might be 3/4 of an inch. So anyway, pick your banner wisely. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put this over here. And maybe it was supposed to be 1 inch and I cut it wrong. Who knows? But it's all going to work for you guys. Okay, we got that. This one is going to go on this side. There's a gap there, but who's going to see it? Nobody, because you are going to be putting your gingerbread man over that flap. So let's do it like this. Nice and even, just like that. Ta-da! Okay, now I'm going to pop up my gingerbread man. I'm going to put him over here like that. Isn't that cute? So cute. So I really only need the dimensionals right there in the center of the white, okay? That's really all you're gonna need. If you find that you need it someplace else, you can do it, but you wanna be able to open your card. So don't forget that. Okay, so I'm going to attach this guy like that. Okay, he's attached. Now what I'm going to do, I have this circle here, and this one is going to be stamped with Seasons Eatings. I'm going to stamp Seasons Eatings in Garden Green ink, which is, oh my goodness, here we go again, getting covered. My space is getting covered. Okay, I had to think of what I was doing next. Okay, let's see. Seasons Eatings, we're going to stamp in Garden Green. Aren't these cards so incredibly cute? I mean, aren't you wishing that you had signed up for this? Oh my goodness. Well, that did not go well. There are 2 sides of it. Yes, this one is actually the reverse of this. If you are really, really picky about that, you can put it back inside your die and run it through so that this is right side up. But I'm not really picky that way. So let's move the Garden Green out of the way. So this is going to get attached. Oh no, this is going to get attached. Where is this getting attached? Oh, to the center of our flap. Okay, I forgot. Okay, so what we have to do next is attach our flap, and we're only going to add adhesive to the left side, okay? So whatever side I do has to be my left side. Luckily with gingham, there isn't a right and left side, or right and wrong side, I should say. Center that between your 4 sides, your top, your bottom, your left, and your right, okay? So you're gonna center that just like that. And then what we're going to do is put this right in the middle. So let me do that. We're almost done with card number 3 already. I'm gonna put that right here in the middle, just like that. But nobody sees it because it's underneath that. So now let's decorate our gingerbread guy yet. We have our plaid paper. This is part of the plaid paper. So everybody's bow is going to look different because it comes from different parts of the plaid. This scarf is going to go around my neck, around my gingerbread guy's neck, I should say, just like that. Ta-da! Now I have to get my ephemera. We are going to pop out a candy cane. Well, this one is going to be red and white because this is the one I could find right here. This one, there is a candy cane facing left and a candy cane facing right. It works better if it's facing left, if you've got one of them left, okay? If you don't have any of them left, you know what? You've got the dies and you could build your own too. Okay, so we're gonna put our candy cane there. And what else are we going to do? That might be it. I'm going to do my bow in a second. I've got my mug of hot cocoa. And speaking of hot cocoa, Don't you love the red cups that are back in Starbucks? That's my peppermint mocha. Love my peppermint mocha. We're gonna do it like this. This is gonna go off like that, and you can't even see that the gingerbread man has his little clubbed arm, right? Let's decorate yet. Oh, I forgot. He's got buttons. He has buttons. We're going to stamp his buttons halfway down his belly with real red to match our mug and our candy cane. Let's stamp our buttons. Because it's on, this would work better if you were doing it flat, so hopefully I didn't make a mess. Yeah, not bad. Do it before you attach your gingerbread. I just missed that he had buttons. Okay, so we've got our buttons. We're going to decorate with some dots yet. Let's decorate with some dots. We can put on a garden green dot in the middle of his mug like that. Let's see. I'm going to put a little pink dot right in the center of his scarf. He's got a little neckerchief. Oh, and now let's do our last piece. Don't forget your bow. We're going to make our bow. And I love making bows. So if you want me to make your bows, just send me a message and I will make your bows. Okay, we're going to make that a shorter, like that, like that. And then we are going to get our glue dots that are, glue dots are here, sorry. My glue dots are under my silicone mat. Let's put our glue dot, get our glue dot, and we're going to attach this right like that. I don't think I got my glue dot. I think I left my glue dot there. Just like that. Ta-da! Isn't that an adorable card? And only you know, because we did all the prepping for you, how easy or hard it is. Okay. Card number 3 is done. Let's move on to card number 4. This is Monica's card. What a fancy fold card. And it's actually a gift card holder. You're going to love this. You are going to love this. It's so easy. You just wouldn't believe it. What we have here is a 5.5 by 8.5 inch piece of pool party cardstock. I scored it at 4 1/4, and then half of 4 1/4 is 2 1/8. So you're going to score it 4 1/4 and 2 1/8. Fold it like that, and then we're going to fold this one back. It's almost like a Z fold idea. Let me burnish that edge right here, just like that, with my bone folder. There we go. Always have my bone folder close by. Okay, the first thing we are going to do, we have a 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 piece of cherry cobbler. Because this is our DSP. This is another one of our beautiful papers. This is 4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to layer that right on our cherry cobbler. So let's do that first. I'm going to layer that right there. You're going to love this fold, and you'll end up using it again. I'll give you all the measurements here. If you want it easier, though, you're going to want to buy my kit so you get the PDF, and then you know exactly what you're cutting at. I did do a little bit ragged with my paper cutter. This is my Carl cutter, and it needs to be sharpened. But, okay, there we go. We're going to attach this on the inside. So there's just a 1/16 of an inch around each. Because remember, it was an 1/8 inch less wide and high, which means a 1/16 inch on all 4 sides. So there's a real thin border. It's pretty close. Okay, there we go. Next, what we're going to do is we have a piece of cherry cobbler. Again, this is, I'm going to tell you because I can't remember, 3 1/8 by 5 3/8 again. Okay, so this is going to, again, this is going to layer on the front just like that. And you're going to have that really fine 1/16 of an 1/8 inch edge, top, bottom, and left side. But we are going to put on, because this is, what did I just say? 3 3 1/8. This is a 3-inch piece by 5 1/4-inch piece of DSP. So let's attach that. This is the fun back of that DSP, but I love this. This is, especially with the white, it's so fresh, isn't it? Our last card is super easy, so stay with me to the end. You're going to be so happy that you bought this class. You are. Okay, so I put that on there, and I'm going to layer that right on here. So just the adhesive on the left side. Don't forget, only on the left side. If you have to put pencil or something to remind yourself, if you have to put a Post-it note, whatever it takes, just put that there. Okay, we're going to put that like that. And see how the cherry cobbler lines up, especially if I do it right, with the top and the bottom of this piece as well. Okay, now we have a mini card, and our mini card is 6 inches wide by 4 1/4 inches high, and we're going to score it in half at 3 inches. When you decorate this, you're going to put it like this on your card. So it's going to be with the fold on the left, just like that. So it's going to be another mini card. But we're going to do something fun with this. The next thing I'm going to do with this, and I don't know why I have 2 pieces of DSP, probably because I couldn't find one and then I have all of a sudden have 2. We are going to take a 1-inch punch. Any round punch will do. If you have an oval punch, if you want to use one of your dies, whatever you want to do, you're going to punch out a half circle, just like that. And we are going to put that on the inside, on the right, inside of our mini card. So this card is 2 3/4 inches wide, this DSP, I'm sorry, 2 3/4 inches wide by 2 inches high, okay? When you put your adhesive on, remember, we want to be able to slide a beautiful gift card in here. So put your adhesive, you could do tear and tape if you want, but you're really going to have to be careful to really stay close to the edge. If you do your tear and tape, you could even use your adhesive. I'm going to show you a trick. You could use your silicone mat, and you can use your tear and tape, run it overlap the edge, and then roll it in on itself if you need to have a really thin tear and tape edge, okay? That's your tip of the day. Okay, so obviously I'm not going to put any adhesive on the side where my notches, because I want to be able to slide my gift card in. Okay, so that's the first part. Now we're going to decorate the front of this. We have 2 pieces of basic white cardstock. These are 2 3/4 inches by 4 inches. Yes, they are. So 2 basic white 2 3/4 by 4 to decorate the front of your card. And remember, the front is actually the back of most cards. And then you're also going to do it on this side. And then that is going to attach inside. So what am I going to do? Oh, I got to stamp another Gingerbread Man. So let me stamp that first. Obviously now, because he is going to be hanging off the side of my paper, this is going to be the side that I'm going to want to put the clubbed stamp, the clubbed arm, okay? So let's get this, and we are going to stamp this. You could do pecan pie, but this time we are going to use early espresso. So put your arm off to the left, just like that. He's going to fit right into your cutout space. This is how you use your Stamparatus. You do your die cut once and then put that perfectly in the corner, and then you line up your stamps on there, and all of a sudden everything works and matches. Okay, so early espresso. I inked this up so it's good and juicy because I was having trouble getting it to ink up. I'm like, if I'm having trouble, everybody else is going to have trouble. And if people have trouble inking something up, they're not happy. And if people aren't happy, they're not going to buy another class. So figure it out, right? Okay, so he's stamped. I have him right up in the corner, my paper and my mat. So everything lines up perfectly, hopefully. Ta-da! And like I said before, if you're not happy with something, I wouldn't mind if that had a little bit more ink on that side. So let's add a little bit more ink on that side. Not that it really matters, because don't forget, I'm also going to be, doesn't matter because I'm going to be cutting that off. But if you, that's the way a Stamparatus works. If you're not happy, go back and ink it again. If you've got it perfectly squared up in the corner or wherever you're marking it, you will be okay and it's going to work fine. Okay, this one is a winky face again. Let's do a winky face. This is my winky face with my early espresso. Once again, make it sure, just put your facial features higher than you would think, and it'll be fine. I think it looks better higher rather than lower. So that's good. And then he's already got that. Okay, I think that's all for that. Now what we are going to do is attach our guy. We're going to glue him, cattywampus again, there's that word, onto our, let's see, just like that. Okay, we're going to glue him on. So I'm going to add glue to my arm. My head is going to be entirely on. Part of my, I'm going to do just the glue like that. I can always add more if it lifts up or whatever, but you can't take away. Makes a big mess. Okay, so we're going to put them like this. Ta-da. Now what I'm going to do is take my scissor with my gingerbread charm that I showed you before, and we are going to, you could also use your paper trimmer. We're going to just cut this off. Just trim it off. Use it for something else. I don't know. What are you going to use a gingerbread arm and leg for? Well, that's a good question. I guess you're probably going to want to get rid of that. Okay, so he's there. And what we're going to do is attach him to the front of our mini card, right? So let's glue him on. Just like this. Just like that. Ta-da. And then we are going to decorate him up a little bit with some more stuff. We are going to put in his, okay, this was Monica's idea. Isn't this, don't forget that you still have the bumblebee punch. This is the heart from the bumblebee punch. We are going to put that right there, okay? Let's just glue it right on. And I'm going to make sure my glue doesn't go over my edge, so that if it does go over my edge, you can still open my card. Okay, so we've got that. Now, let's see, what else could we put in here? We've got all this stuff. Let's see, do I have another? Okay, I have another red and green one, and this one goes to the right, and I think I like that better. Okay, so we're gonna have it go to the right, just like I did on my card there. Look at that. That was an accident though. So I'm going to glue this right here, just like that. Just like that. Now we are going to find, on this card, I have a piece of hollies with berries. Now you only have one piece of that for your thing. So one of your card will look like that and will have the holly berry, but you're going to have to, so I have that here, but you're going to have something different for the other one. So you can also use this one. We could use the mistletoe. I'm going to use this one. So, because you're only getting one of these sheets, remember, because you're getting half a pack. So make it work. You can make it work. Let's see. I think I'm going to actually, though, cut some of this off because it's a little bit big. We'll do it like that. Yes? Yes. Okay, I'm going to pop that up with some dimensionals, and since I have multiple mini dimensionals and not so many big dimensionals left anymore over here, we're going to use our mini dimensionals. Let's pop that up. So use whatever ephemera you want. Your card. Ta-da! And now I'm going to just add another bow. So here we go again. Let's use this chevron ribbon, our 1/8 inch chevron ribbon. It really ties very easily, I have to tell you. Just like that, we got our bow. Let's trim those tails like that. Move this out of the way. Boy, am I going to have a big mess to clean up. And we're just going to attach that with our glue dot think I had one left over on here. I could feel that there was one left over on here. Where is it? Did it get stuck to me instead? It might have. Oh, I found it. One glue dot. I knew I had felt one. And we're just going to attach that right here, just like that. So we've got our mini card. Now let's decorate the inside. And how did we decorate the inside? Oh, we put in with our cherry cobbler ink pad. You're not using a whole lot of ink pads with this. You need your tuxedo black, you need your red, real red, your garden green, your cherry cobbler, your pecan pie, and your early espresso. So we really kept the ink pads down here for you. Where is my piece? It's right here. Remember, our second piece. We are going to stamp. We'll get out of the way. We are going to stamp. We are going to stamp Season's Eatings. But you know what? I've got, oh snap, I've got lots of stamps and I do not see my Season's Eatings. Okay, so we're going to, oh, here it is. Here it is. Season's Eatings in cherry cobbler down in the bottom corner. And if you wanted to, you could decorate it with gumdrops here. I'm going to decorate with gumdrops. Why not? Not part of the directions. We're varying things up to make it our card, right? Just like that. I love gumdrops. I don't know about you. Got that from my dad. My dad loves gumdrops too. Big part of Christmas every year is always candy. Chocolate raspberry creams. Another thing I got from him. Love the salted caramels from Putnam Pantry. But my all-time favorite, I'm going to confess to you, so you guys are going to know something about me that not many people know. I have an addiction. And my addiction is to cheese balls. Not just any cheese balls. Cheetos makes cheese balls in the cans just like the Pringles, and a lot of times you can find them in there. There's a Flaming Hot. Haven't tried them, won't try them. I'm not into that thing. That's not my scene. But the regular cheese balls, I guess when Chris picked me up from the dentist last week and I was numb and could eat anything at that point, all I wanted was cheese balls. So now you know, I love Cheetos cheese balls. Don't tell anybody else. But I have some next to my bed that I have to sometimes in the middle of the night, I wake up with a craving and I eat my cheese balls. I have them in my car so that when I'm driving home in rush hour traffic, even at 8 o'clock at night, coming home from work, I have my cheese balls. Ta-da. Okay, we got to do one more thing though. We're not done yet. We're going to decorate our card. So, like I said, don't tell anybody this. This is our little secret, okay? We're going to put a couple of different dots on here. We're going to put some red. We're going to put some pink. Where do I want to put? Let's put a red down here. We're going to do a blue up there. We are going to do a garden green. Let's do a garden green over here. Maybe we'll do another garden green. I'm following the one I've already made, which is pretty much what Monica made. I like the way she did her dots. We've got that. Let's see. We've got to put in another red. Got all these dots. You can do it. You can use it. Isn't that fun? All these different colors. I really feel like I want to do one more dot, but where do I do it? I guess, you know what? I guess we don't really need it. But if there was a dotted I, I'd probably put it over that. But you've got all these dear dots. Use them. Have fun with this. It reminds you of the paper candy. Remember the candy that came on the wrapper? It was like probably 3 inches wide and it had all the different colors. That's what it reminds me of. We used to have like a candy drive at school. I went to a Christian school and they'd make money it was like once every other week. You'd bring money to school and you could buy candy. And I'm telling you, when I was bringing money to school, I was bringing a nickel or a dime. I was not bringing dollars. But that's what I would spend it on. Okay, card number 4 is done. We're going to do card number 5. Super easy, super quick. Once again, all the die cutting's done for you except for one little thing. You have to do one little thing in the die cutting, and that's it. Okay, so I've got my 5.5 by 8.5 early espresso base. And I am going to put on a piece of DSP. This is the DSP. This is the one that has the light green diamond shape on the back. We are going to put that right here. It's going to be, I believe it's 1 3/4. 1 3/4 by 5.5 inches. So there you go. Obviously, you're limited by how much DSP is there. I think this strip was all that was there, and then there was this pattern was either next to it, or it was the one with the ornaments. I'm not sure, with the light green ornaments. But this was as wide as we had. So 5.5 inches, of course, is limited by the card base, and I got to cut off a little bit. I don't like how that's overhanging. Let's finish this off. I guess I didn't do a great job cutting. Okay, there we go. And now we have on here, we have another piece of DSP, and this is the back of that paper. It's going to be the mistletoe. We are going to center that, kind of center it. You know, we're going to put it top, bottom, and right. I'm going to center that because we're not going to see a lot of this anyway, okay? It doesn't matter if it's not overlapping or if it is overlapping, wherever you want to put it, but we're going to put it kind of centered into the right, okay? Do it like this. Perfect. Now, this is our second largest postage die. Our perennial postage dies, remember we still have them. We're going to cattywampus again. We're going to put this off to the side. If I'm saying the word wrong, or if it's the wrong word entirely, please tell me, because it's not one that I grew up with. It's just a word I love, so I kind of adapted it. But if I'm really, really wrong about the word and it's supposed to be another word entirely, let me know. Okay, we're putting this off to the side, just like that. So we've got this lined up perfectly, this nice and straight on the right. Cattywampus perennial postage cherry cobbler, second largest. Now we are going to do a strip of garden green cardstock. This is 1 inch by 4 1/4 inches. So let's glue that over top of, oh, I just made a mess. That's going to be nice and sticky. We're going to glue this right over our center. So just like that. So center it and put it right there. Then I have a 3/4 by 4 inch piece of DSP. These pieces are all in your card kits. You're going to have it all made. So just remember to message me. I can make up to 2 more kits, maybe 4 more kits. We'll see how energetic I am with Thanksgiving. I hope you guys all have a wonderful Thanksgiving this week. Okay, we got to stamp our, before I finish, we got to stamp our Gingerbread Man again. And he's going to have he's not holding anything in his hand, so it's going to be what it's going to be. Okay, I'm going to stamp him again in early espresso. See how much use I've gotten out of my Stamparatus. So let's put him in here. Gonna lay it in nice and flat, and then we are going to bring in our early espresso ink. Let's ink him up, and then I'll just try to do some surgery on his arm to make him look whole-ish. For now, he's not going to be entirely whole. You'll see in just a minute. Okay, there we go. Beautiful enough. That'll work. You know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to find something, one piece of, you know what? There are presents in here. Maybe he's going to have a present in his hand. We're going to see that in a second. Okay, so this is inked in really dark, really juicy early espresso. Let's close this up, send it away, and now we have to give him the, that's his stunned look. Like, oh no. So you've got your mouth that's wide open. This is the one that I said looked like a zombie because I stamped it too low. So we're going to do a much better job of stamping now. Here we go. Make sure you're leaving me comments. I want to hear what you guys are thinking. I'm going to put him higher up. Like I said, I feel like the higher up works better than the lower faces. Okay? Just saying. That could have done better. I can go back with one of my, well, it's not going to be an early espresso blend, is it? You guys know we don't have an early espresso blend, and I'm not sure why. I don't have a garden green either. Both of those would be blends that I would use all the time. Okay, we are going to give him a bow tie. So I have die cut my bow. We've got our knot for our ribbon. We've got our ties, and we've got our bow. We're going to put him together. So let me put a dot of glue. You're going to see me put a dot of glue right there. That was way too much. Way too much. Way too much. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use some of that glue for my knot. So let me put, I'm going to do it like this. Okay, so we got our bow. We're going to put that on our ribbon. And then let's put our knot on top too. And we effectively used all of that glue. That was too much. Too much. But you know why I'm using the silicone mat, right? When I'm done, when this dries, I can use my fingers and just rub the glue right off of there. That's what you do. Okay, let's put another dot of glue right there. And we're going to put that right there. Ta-da. Now, I have to tell you, so we're going to say in our word bubble, we are going to stamp "Oh snap," because isn't that what happens? You take a bite of a cookie and snap. That's the end of it. Unless it's supposed to be, like I would say, I all the time say, "Oh shoot." Well, this is "Oh snap," right? Let's stamp that cherry cobbler again in our word bubble. That's one of the dies. I do wish that I had done, I'm going to do a better job with, I'm going to take my early espresso marker because I still have the markers, even though they're being discontinued. If you haven't gotten your markers, make sure you get your markers. And look at this, you know, that really doesn't look that terrible, actually. So I may not have to put anything in there, but let's do a little bit of surgery. I'm going to do that, round it out just a little bit. Oh my goodness, it's 6:28. There's something wrong with my clock. My Christmas clock is not buzzing. It's not making noise. There is one other thing that we have to do with this to make this work. And I can't do it because I'm not going to do it on camera. But let me show you what it is. We have here one of our many, many dies. Let me find it. Let me find it. Here it is. It could be an icing zigzag, but we're going to use that to actually cut off our leg right there. That's where the leg breaks, and that's why you say, and look at that. That does a perfect job of that. It's just attach them separately, okay? So that is what we're doing. So I'm going to, oh, and I have to do a piece of ribbon. I got my ribbon. Didn't realize this was taking me so long, but I'm having so much fun, and I hope you guys are too. My chevron ribbon. We are going to do a great big bow, just like this. If I wanted to, I'm going to do it just like that. I could make it into a bow, but what I'm going to do instead is take a little piece of my washi tape, just a little piece, and we are going to attach that right here in the center. Just like that. Let's cut this excess off. And then what I'm going to do is use my dimensionals to pop up my, oh boy, it should have been a longer piece, but you get the idea. We're going to do that. Our bow is underneath there, just like that. We've got our little scissored legs snapped off. We're going to do our word bubble right here. I'm not going to attach it because I want to fix the lines, and I want to do surgery on my leg. But what we're going to do we are going to add some buttons. So let's do some buttons before I call it good enough. And then I'm going to give this guy pink buttons this time. He's going to have pink buttons. You can do whatever color you want, just like that. We did some real red here. We did a little dot of green up there. I'm going to do a little dot of blue because you can do whatever color you want. So anyway, you're going to have your gingerbread just like that, popped up just like that, and ta-da, there you go. Oh, let's finish the inside. I forgot. We are going to finish the inside. So we have our basic white. We have a piece of DSP. This is our mistletoe pattern. We're going to glue that right at the bottom. So this is going to be 1/2 inch by 4 inches. I'm going to glue that right to the bottom, just like that. Then we're going to take a piece of our ephemera. And here we used, oh, you know what? Love the cardinal. Don't you love the cardinal? That would be fun to have a cardinal in his hand. Or the bells, the jingle bells. You could do whatever you want. But let's see, we had a little stocking. I want to do something different because mine, of course, has the red stocking, but you aren't going to have all those pieces, so you might have to choose a different one. So maybe you are going to choose a couple of your presents. Let's do a couple of the presents here at the bottom instead of the stocking, because we've already used our stocking. Okay, so let me glue this down. Oh boy, it was a double page of ephemera, so I've got double my ephemera. Didn't want to do that. Okay, we're gonna do it like that and like that. And you can stamp whatever you want inside. Actually, you know what? Yes, it needs to be popped up. All there is to it. One more. This is the last step, guys, and then we're done with this card and done with the 5 cards. And didn't you just have a great time stamping with me? Since you don't have your kits yet, I know you're not crafting along with me, but you will do it in person with me next week, and we're going to have a great time. And I have special gingerbread treats for all of you, too. Okay, we're going to put this inside, just like that. Just like that. And now, don't forget, I do have to do surgery on my leg. I would recommend that you don't do what I did, because I did this yesterday too. I put the dots on and then I tried to run it through the embossing. Don't do that. Do the surgery on the leg first. You know what we're going to do? We're not going to do the zig. We're going to do it like this. That works just as well, doesn't it? Let me pop this up with some dimensional so I can actually finish this card for you guys. Just imagine that I did a better job stamping with the Stamparatus. I could have gone back and done that, and I had the perfect opportunity, but I did not. I like to use the outside bones for my bigger areas. You know, it does a good job of covering all those areas just like that. And then don't forget, we have to do our legs separately. So we're going to pop up this leg separately. Okay, and my big bow came totally undone. So let's see if I can make it work again. This is my faux bow and it didn't work. Let's see. I guess what I'm going to do is use a dimensional, nice long piece of dimensional right across there like that, and that's going to hold it. Okay, so that's another thing you can do. Use your dimensional. If you don't do tear and tape, or I'm going to do it like this. We'll do it like that. Like that. Now I should have done a better job pulling this. Let's see. Oh, too late. Okay, we're going to put this like this. I'll put it up higher so you can see a little bit of the ribbon. And then don't forget our leg. Ta-da! And last but not least, our word bubble. And we have finished our card. Thank you so much for stamping with me today. I love that we stamped together. I hope you loved all these cards. Now, what I want to hear from you is which card is your favorite? Is it the one, oh snap, is it this fancy fold gift card holder? Isn't that fun? Is it this one? Love this one. Another fancy fold with the flap. Is it this one, which doesn't have any gingerbread, but has all the makings for a nice gingerbread house? There we go. Or is it this one? Our just down to earth, having a great winter day gingerbread man. Looks almost like a snowman. Anyway, in fact, that's an idea. Maybe I'll do them in white and try it as a snowman. I want to give some ideas throughout the week to use this to inspire you guys to get this bundle because it's so fun. Okay, let me flip and say thank you for joining me. I had a great time. I really did. I hope you did too. You like my Merry Christmas with my gingerbread men. I'm in the spirit. Have a wonderful week. Happy Thanksgiving. Mwah. See you next week with, I don't know. We'll find out. Bye.